My Little Pony. I don't think anyone would have thought that such an innocent show would have created such amazing and varied stories. Slice of life, comedy, dark, drama, you name it. The number of genres it has covered is simply staggering. And I believe almost every story has something to offer us, be it a great moral, cool scenes, or just a simple good laugh. So welcome to Storyboard, a series where we take a look at the stories and writing the show has given us and see what works, what doesn't, and how we can learn from them. Which brings us to Filli Vanilli, an episode from Season 4 featuring our favourite yellow Pegasus, Fluttershy. It was also written by Amy Keating-Rogers, who wrote some of our favourite episodes like The Last Roundup, Bridal Gossip, and The Best Night Ever. She even wrote the all-important Smile song. I mean, after that repertoire, who wouldn't get excited for this episode? Now, I won't be going through the episode scene by scene. Instead, I'll be picking up points in the story that I think would be interesting to analyse. And what better way to start than with Fluttershy herself? Now, before we talk about how Fluttershy is written here, I think it's a good idea to go back and analyse how Fluttershy was written in the episodes before this. She has always been the mainstay singled out when talking about characterization, because while the others seem to have different aspects in their personalities, many say that Fluttershy has just one aspect. She is, well, shy. She's afraid to speak up unless it's about her friends. She's kind and thoughtful until someone pisses her off. In fact, most of her episodes could just be summed up with the phrase, "I'm nice until I'm provoked." And I'd be lying if I said there wasn't some credibility to the argument. Amidst her friends, Fluttershy is the one that has strangely stagnated. Most of her episodes only feature her in one situation. She's given a problem she can't solve by being reclusive, and so has to find a way to be assertive so that she can conquer her fears and the problem at hand. This wouldn't be so bad if it happened once and she learned her lesson, but it happens again and again and again.
Okay, there's no rush.
These are all just variations on only one aspect of Fluttershy's personality, which is, like I said before, that she's just shy. It appears the lessons she learns just doesn't seem to stick consistently throughout the seasons. As such, she appears to not grow or grow the slowest out of the main six. Now, I'm in no way expecting her to burst out into song like Pinkie or gain the confidence of Rainbow, but I'm just hoping that eventually we'll see some of the lessons she supposedly learned show. She does improve drastically in Season 5, but we'll get to that in the future. So, with Amy Keating-Rogers finally handed the keys to her first Fluttershy episode, I'm hoping that we can finally get past Fluttershy being all scared and wimpy, and really give her a chance to develop as a... who am I kidding? How long before we find out she's still shyer than Bilbo Baggins' home? Wow, 54 seconds? Well, that was quick. Okay, well, I'm not being fair here. Stage fright is not the same as being shy. Someone could be the most outspoken person in the world, but when placed in front of the crowd that's judging his or her ability to perform, not many people can handle the pressure. I speak from experience. It's something most have to get used to by repeatedly doing it in front of an audience. And it makes sense that Fluttershy wouldn't have that experience, since she's scared of even talking to a singular pony. So it does work for her to have stage fright. And now I'm interested, because we get to see a new aspect of Fluttershy's personality. Rapid plot run-through time. We're introduced to the Ponytones, an a cappella group consisting of Big Mac, Rarity, and, well, two other ponies we don't know and will never see again. They've been banished to the realm of background ponies that would be cool to cameo sometime, along with Babsy, Sassy Saddles, and Princess Luna. And as it turns out, Fluttershy is a huge fan of the Ponytones. She knows all of their songs by heart and has always dreamed about performing. However, her fear of crowds has always held her back from trying, despite her amazing singing voice. Wait, why am I explaining the plot? We got one of the funniest written dialogue in this episode to do it for us. Take it away, Applejack.
Turkey call?
Yep.
Treasure voice?
Yep.
Is it cold remedy?
Yep.
Not quick enough?
Nope.
Needed a deep voice?
Yep.
Poison joke?
Yep.
Flutter guy?
Yep.
Better now?
Yep.
And that shy filly was living her dream in the shadows because she couldn't bring herself to come into the spotlight?
Yep.
So yeah, there we go. Fluttershy proceeds to run away after this, crying and humiliated. Which now brings us to the most controversial point about this episode. Pinkie Pie. Yeah, You heard me right. An Amy Keating Rogers episode caused controversy about Pinkie Pie. Hey look, flying pigs! When this episode finished airing, Amy Keating Rogers was bombarded with hate tweets about how Pinkie Pie had been presented in this episode. Many said that Pinkie was completely out of character, some even going so far as to say they were personally offended at how she had been written. Now, let me get one thing out of the way. It is never okay to us verbally assault any of the writers simply because you don't like the episode. Now, you're free to form your own opinions on it, that's fine. But when you start hurling insults at them, you've crossed the line. These are real people with real feelings. Most put their heart and soul into the stories they gave us, and I'm damn sure almost none of the people that said such nasty things could have written the story any better. Remember, it's okay to not like something, but it's not okay to try to force your opinion on someone with a mean-spirited intent, and it will never be okay to attack someone on any form of media. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about how Pinkie is written. Throughout this episode, she's seen beside Fluttershy when she's experiencing her phobia. Most of her lines revolve around unknowingly making the situation worse for the Pegasus by instigating her fears. And I'm also not fond of how Amy has written her here, which is odd because she and Megan McCarthy have been the go-to writers for Pinkie Pie since season 1. In their episodes, Pinkie is usually shown to be eccentric, but still understanding the emotions of the ponies around her. She tries to apply her own sense of logic to the situation at hand, but still stay grounded to the world she's in. A good example of this, though it's in an episode from season 5, is...
Grandpa Gruff's recipe is good, but it's missing one important ingredient.
Don't tell me. Friendship?
No, baking powder.
Without that down-to-earth aspect, Pinkie's personality can turn unlikable very quickly. So when Pinkie continually berates Fluttershy, even when her friend is already in tears, she loses something that makes her so relatable. It's that surprising amount of wisdom that shocks even her friends from time to time. Her continued prodding at Fluttershy is made even stranger when you consider the relationship they both have.
Do you really think it's a good idea? I mean... Don't worry your pretty little head about mean old Gilda. Your Auntie Pinkie Pie's got it all taken care of. I'm a year older than you.
She's extremely protective over her best friend, understanding just how sensitive the little Pegasus is, that even a simple harmless water prank could make her cry.
Fluttershy. What? No. We can't prank Fluttershy. I mean, she's so sensitive. It'll hurt her feelings, even our most harmless prank.
These scenes clearly show just how close Pinkie and Flutters are. But in this episode, that's never seen. If you were to watch this episode on its own, I doubt you'd be calling Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy friends, much less best buds. But I think I know why Pinkie is written this way. She was meant to be the straight man foil to the others, who were trying to comfort Fluttershy by being soft and understanding. And though it was funny the first time,
Pinkie Pie! Don't be ridiculous!
Aw, but I'm so good at it!
I find it hard to believe that by the 4th and 5th time, Pinkie still doesn't realize she's hurting Fluttershy. Not only that, but I think the joke doesn't work because if the audience were to laugh, they would be laughing at Fluttershy's expense, not Pinkie's reaction. Because the source of misery is from the crying and humiliated Fluttershy. Couple that with the fact that none of the other main six so much as smile at Pinkie's comments. You know, in fact they give her the death glare, and suddenly we have a joke that's missing an audience. So, no, I don't like how Pinkie Pie is written in this episode, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I still enjoyed watching it. I'm not gonna attack any of the writers, even if I don't like a small aspect of these 22 minutes. There's so much more to enjoy. The songs, the first 2 acts, and even the moral at the moral. How could I forget about the moral of this episode? It is, at first glance, pretty simple. I'll let Fluttershy explain.
Being afraid can stop you from doing something that you love. But hiding behind these fears means you're only hiding from your true self. It's much better to face those fears so you can shine and be the best pony you can possibly be.
Easy to grasp, isn't it? Face your fears, and you'll surprise yourself on just how much you can accomplish. It doesn't even have to be a physical fear like spiders or snakes. It's a great, simple moral that kids and adults could both use. We're often so scared of so many things that we put ourselves down before we even try. But there's a conversation in this episode that takes this moral from good to great. And that's actually just a few moments before. It's this scene.
Because the Ponytoes have been booked for the Apple Family Zap Apple Jam Extraordinaire!
Oh no, I couldn't do that.
How cool, Fluttershy!
Seriously? I'll get there someday, but for now, baby steps, every pony. Baby steps.
This is such an amazing message. See, overcoming our fear, our doubts, isn't a one-time thing. We don't instantly get cured of our frights just because we did it once. It's an ongoing process that needs constant time, bravery, and support from the people we love. And while other shows would have just showed Fluttershy performing on a large stage at a sold-out concert, that's not how it works. Just like she said, baby steps. For an introvert, doing what Fluttershy has done requires an enormous amount of energy and courage. An exhausting amount. I think any person that can relate will tell you that they didn't run up to a stage of thousands after singing in front of an audience of just tens. By showing that fear is conquered in several small steps instead of one large stride, it elevates the moral of this episode even higher. It honestly shocked me when Fluttershy denied wanting to do the event, saying that she needs time. It's such a simple yet mature thought that many people miss. People like Fluttershy need time to overcome their fears, and it's a process, not something that just happens instantaneously. Just goes to show Amy Keating Rogers' skill in writing episodes with messages that really stick with you. So, overall, would I say I liked this episode? Yeah, I loved it. It's one of those I rewatch every now and again. The catchy songs, funny lines, and great message. All of it is amazing. Yes, there was one element of the story I didn't like.
Only one?
But it didn't ruin the episode for me. In the end, the good of the episode far overshadows the bad. It made me smile, laugh, and sing. And for a My Little Pony episode, I consider that a pretty big win. I'm Jaden, and I can't wait to storyboard more episodes with all of you.
Hey, find it. Oh, why you can find it in your heart, yeah. By the music, yeah.
Wow, Fluttershy, that's one strong... I'd like to retract my joke now.